Hi everyone, wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom Umvorach. If someone were to ask you, what is the most important pasuk in the entire Torah, what would you answer? Now, believe it or not, this question was already asked around 1500 years ago in the Gemara, and each rabbi gives a different pasuk. Of course, you could imagine. One rabbi says the pasuk, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, a beautiful pasuk. Another rabbi says, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, love your neighbor like yourself. Another very beautiful pasuk. And all of a sudden, there's one rabbi, Shimon ben Pazi, and he gives a very interesting pasuk from this week's Parashat Pinhas. And his pasuk is that in the times of the temple, when we had the Beit HaMikdash, the Torah says you should bring one sheep every morning and one sheep every afternoon as a sacrifice. And he says this is the most important pasuk: a sheep in the morning and a sheep in the afternoon. And of course, this begs for an explanation. What in the world is this rabbi talking about? How is this the pasuk that you would pick to inspire somebody? And the answer is that Shimon ben Pazi never said that it's the most inspiring pasuk. But what he did say is that it's the most important pasuk. You see, because in life it's nice to be inspired, but more than being inspired, more important than inspiration is being consistent. You know, a person that's looking to lose weight, it's nice to get inspired. You get that inspirational speech or talk, or you read something, or you see someone that lost weight, and you decide, you know what, I want to look like that person, and you get involved. But if we're not consistent, we're never going to get to the end. We'll never make it through to the finish line. Consistency is what it's really all about. To succeed in anything in life, to succeed at a job. Of course, you could come in one day and all inspired and try to pick up the phone and make sales. But what happens when it gets boring, when it gets dull? To be able to grind, to be able to be consistent day in and day out. Says Shimon ben Pazi, the most important pasuk of life is to remember a sheep in the morning, a sheep in the afternoon. To do what we need to do, whether or not we are inspired. There's an amazing story of a boy who came to the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and the rabbi was making small talk with his father, and then he turns to the kid and he says to the kid, tell me, and the kid was turning bar mitzvah, he says to the kid, tell me, do you like sports? The kid says, actually, yeah. Which sport? Baseball. He says, so did you ever go to a game with your father? The kid says, actually, I went last week. He says, how was the game? He says, actually, it was not a good game. They were losing by a lot of points, and we actually left in the seventh inning. And the rabbi says to the kid, tell me, did the players also leave? And the kid says, well, no, of course not. He says, why? What's the difference between you and them? And the kid says, well, I'm a fan, but they're a player. A player must stay all the way till the end, whether or not they're going to win, whether or not they're in it, whether or not it's interesting. And the rabbi smiles and says, in life, make sure you're a player, not a fan. A fan, when they're winning, they're in, they're involved, it's cool, it's trending, it's exciting, everyone's doing it, it's popular. But a player is always there no matter what. To succeed in life, we have to be players. Players in the sense that we must always realize that this is my commitment, this is my responsibility. I need to be here, whether we're winning, whether we're losing, if it's cool or not, popular or not, trending or not. And to be successful in anything, in physical health, in mental health, in financially, spiritually, says Shimon ben Pazi, a sheep in the morning, a sheep in the afternoon. Never forget that principle. Remember, my friends, without inspiration, we'll never start. But without consistency, we'll never finish. Shabbat Shalom.